cannot be guaranteed. We ask that everyone use
Shalom and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, salute to your brothers teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. So let's just listen to this for a bit.
We will be speaking to the Health Secretary, Steve Barclay, a bit later in the programme, but he says that NHS contingency plans will not cover all 999 calls today. And he says that ambulance unions have made what he calls a conscious choice to inflict harm on patients.
Well, 750 armed forces staff are being drafted in as cover. Their role will be limited. They will not be sent on call-outs involving critical care, nor will they provide any clinical care.
We're going to give you all the details you need this morning to prepare for today, but the level of disruption will vary depending on where you live. So Scotland and Northern Ireland, they're not affected today, but all of Wales will be impacted, and everywhere in England apart from the eastern region and the Isle of Wight.
Well, let's hear now from our health correspondent.
The largest, most widespread ambulance strike in decades is going ahead after there was no last-minute breakthrough in talks. The staggered action from 3 unions started at midnight across Wales, the West Midlands and the north of England. At 6 a.m. it was extended to the East Midlands and the south, except the Isle of Wight. At midday, paramedics in London will join the strike. Ambulance staff say the dispute is about pay, which hasn't kept up with inflation, but also patient safety.
It's been one of the most difficult decisions ambulance workers have had to make. The current context we work in sees delays that have caused significant patient harm, and nobody who works for the ambulance service wants to add to that harm or increase that risk.
Ambulance services are already under intense pressure. Here in Gloucester this week, long queues of vehicles were waiting to unload patients because there was no space inside the hospital to treat them. That same problem has driven up response.
So I'm just making you, brothers watch this. I can't pause it because
both the government and
I can't pause it on this.
are concerned the strikes could increase.
So we're just going to keep watching.
Ambulance unions
I'm going to talk quickly.
Serious life-threatening call-outs should not be affected. They should go ahead as usual. But other services are very likely to see some disruption.
The impact will vary by region. The most serious Category 1 calls, such as someone not breathing or in cardiac arrest, will be responded to, as should some Category 2 calls, like strokes or serious burns. But other urgent problems, like a woman in late-stage labour or an elderly person falling in their home, might not be answered.
This is going to be quite a difficult period, and there may be some delays.
So we've got Professor Julian Redhead. That's the dude's name.
Time critical period, get that time critical care that they need.
Now, look, they got the army there.
Troops have been trained to step in and drive ambulances, although they're not allowed to treat patients or use blue lights.
Anytime you see the army, the first thing you should think of is martial law. The scripture says that a man shall desire to go into a city and they shall not be able. How are they going to do that? Because you're going to have troops stopping people from getting here or there, or just different border patrols or staff.
We are going to do our utmost to limit the effect that strike has on patients. But the reality is that patients are already at extreme risk.
Ambulance staff in Northern Ireland also went on strike last week, while in Scotland a new pay offer has just been rejected by one union, but a strike has not yet been called. The message today then is still to use 999 if there's a life-threatening emergency, but in some other urgent cases expect a longer wait for help. Jim Reid, BBC News.
Well, as we've been saying, the level of disruption during today's ambulance strike varies depending on where you live.
Let me turn this down a bit.
Interactive tool
So they've got these graphs.
To find out which unions are on strike,
But
ambulance service, just visit the BBC News.
So this is going to be a short video. I'm going to close it out now. But 1 second, let's see if I can get this.
A few moments ago, our correspondent Catherine de Costa
Turn down. It's not turning down.
Where ambulance workers have just started their strike action.
Give me a second.
Catherine, what can we expect to see in Coventry over the next few hours?
Yeah, well, as you say, in the West Midlands, the strike has only just begun at 6 this morning, run till 6 this evening. Other strikes are taking 24 hours.
So, you know, when people normalize so like strikes, and they've got categories of people, if you're given a stroke, we're not going to respond. You know that you got a crisis going on in the country. And you know, in the last videos I did, I was bringing out certain scriptures. Even in 2nd Ezra 15, it talks about the curses that are going to hit modern day Egypt, okay, which is this system that we're living in. But a lot of people are going to fucking die, man. Now there was and I'm gonna go there with it. You had this The Economist. You know, you got this a paper called The Economist, and they always put like a doom and gloom theme on it, but then they try and act like they're gonna be saviors of the crises that's going on in the country. The bottom line is every fucking sector you can think of out there is striking. All biblical prophecy. Now I ain't gonna read. I ain't got the scriptures on me right now, so I can't read nothing. But I'll quote the scriptures. But the scriptures talks about the beginning of miseries. And it's a damn misery. You know, you got a relative, whatever, and they're having a stroke or something. Or, well, the ambulance is on strike, or we're not going to turn up. This society is fucked up, man. This is hell on earth. And when you really go into the medical field, they're actually not trying to help anybody. Because the scripture says medicines are from the earth, herbs. And what they do is and it's good to take herbs and stuff like that, which we do, you know, vitamins, multivitamins, tablets, or you can get actual herbs, brew them in teas, whatever. But there's so much pollution in this society that, you know, pretty much it's like you're still jacked up, you know? So, you know, there's a lot that can be said. What does the scripture say in Isaiah 24? It says the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Now, I've just put the news on. I've been doing a lot of videos on the news lately. There was about 5 different reports of chaos in the country outside of this ambulance strike, man. So we got to think about that. Now, they got the Christmas tree behind them. We know that's pagan and all that. But this is the Lord bringing judgment on this society because, you know, there's many scriptures on that, Habakkuk and whatnot, all right? I'm a bit tired, my voice is a bit, you know, raw, rough and all that, you know, probably have a lemon tea and whatever, but, you know, this is what's going on out here. Okay, my phone's gonna die anyway, so I'm gonna close this out. And just pretty much pull out there that, you know, this is a fucking joke, man. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom.